Good morning. It's January 7th, and this is your daily brief in science. Here's everything you need to know. Europa remains the leading candidate in the search for extraterrestrial life due to a subsurface ocean beneath an icy shell, but a new study suggests there may be limited seafloor tectonic activity today. The assessment weighs Europa's size, rocky core, and Jupiter's strong gravity, finding limited underwater faulting, ridges, trenches, volcanoes, or hydrothermal systems. The study questions whether the geology could provide the energy and nutrients often tied to life on Earth through tectonic fracturing. Estimates place the ice shell at roughly 15 to 25 kilometers thick, with an ocean possibly 60 to 150 kilometers deep and containing more water than Earth. Europa's diameter is about 3,100 kilometers, and the ocean could be twice Earth's total water volume, underscoring the ocean's vastness. Past tidal heating may have occurred, but current gravitational tides appear too weak to drive significant seafloor activity today. The research explores rock-water interactions that generate nutrients and energy for life on Earth, and asks whether similar energy sources exist on a geologically quiet Europa. A geologically dead seafloor does not rule out life, but it shifts likely habitats and energy sources, guiding future search strategies for Europa. Europa remains the best-known candidate for life, with Europa Clipper data expected to refine our understanding. The study is reported in Nature Communications 10.1038/S414670513, with authors Paul Byrne, Philip Schiemer, Jeffrey Catalano, Douglas Wiens, and Henry Dawson from the McDonnell Center for the Space Sciences. Heat from Europa's core likely escaped long ago, and Jupiter's stable orbit minimizes tidal heating compared with more active moons, reducing energy availability at the seafloor. The USDA APHIS reports the first highly pathogenic avian influenza cases of 2026 in the United States, with 76,210 birds infected in the first 6 days of the year, adding to about 880,000 infections in the prior 30 days. Figures cover domestic poultry and exclude wild birds, which are tracked separately. Notable late 2025 wild bird die-offs included roughly 200 Canada geese in Iowa and several swans in Orlando, Florida. The data illustrate the scale of avian influenza activity early in 2026 and reflect ongoing monitoring across poultry operations and wild birds. A PHIS describes ongoing collaboration with state officials on surveillance for the virus in commercial backyard and wild birds, and notes the U.S. poultry population and industry context. The largest outbreaks are on commercial game bird farms and facilities, including 34,600 birds in Butte County, California, 15,700 in Anderson County, Kansas, 14,000 at a North Carolina turkey plant, 6,000 in Missouri's Texas County, and 4,600 in Nemaha County, Kansas. A critical post-holiday blood shortage has prompted our Blood Institute to issue an urgent call for type O donors during National Blood Donor Month. After holiday travel and school breaks, O-positive and O-negative supplies have fallen to critically low levels, and the need for blood remains constant. Donors age 16 and up, healthy and weighing at least 110 pounds for those 18 and older, can donate in about an hour, potentially saving up to 3 lives. Appointments are available at ob.org or by calling 877-340-8777, and walk-ins are welcome. For younger donors, 16-year-olds must weigh at least 125 pounds with parental permission, and 17-year-olds must weigh at least 125 pounds. A photo ID is required for all donors. Our Blood Institute operates 5 donor centers across Arkansas and serves more than 40 hospitals, medical facilities, and air ambulance services in the state. It is the 6th largest independent blood center in the United States, with 17 donor centers across Oklahoma, Arkansas, and Texas, serving over 240 hospitals and facilities. The organization outlines how to determine blood type and eligibility, including steps to register and check eligibility after initial contact. Specific donation types and their impact are explained, with 8 common blood types and the patients who benefit from each. The Rho subtype is extremely rare but crucial for sickle cell patients, comprising about 3% of regular donors, while 47% of Black heritage donors possess Rho, and demand for Rho is rising. This report comes from KSWO in Lawton, Oklahoma, dated January 2026, and reinforces the life-saving impact of blood donation during National Blood Donor Month. A new foundation model called Sleep-FM uses a night of sleep data to forecast health risks across more than 100 diseases. Stanford medicine researchers trained Sleep-FM on roughly 585,000 hours of PSG data from about 65,000 participants, using 5-second segments across EEG, ECG, EMG, and respiratory signals to learn the language of sleep. The system first matches current sleep analysis benchmarks, then fine-tunes to predict long-term disease onset by linking sleep data with up to 25 years of follow-up health records. Sleep-FM ties sleep signals to decades of electronic health records spanning over 1,000 disease categories, finding meaningful patterns in about 130 conditions. A key pre-training approach uses a leave-one-out contrastive objective to align multimodal representations while tolerating missing or mixed channels during inference. Researchers aim for interpretability, seeking to explain predictions and potentially incorporate wearable data, with signals strongest when multiple modalities are combined rather than a single channel. The model shows robust generalization over time and across external cohorts, with strong performance on cardiovascular outcomes and mortality. Data come from 4 primary cohorts plus the SHHS for transfer learning, with pre-processing that resamples signals to 128 Hz and segments nights into 5-second tokens, feeding a 1D convolution, channel-agnostic attention, and a transformer, followed by a 2-layer LSM head. Modality analyses indicate that combining all data streams yields the best predictive power, though certain stages and modalities offer condition-specific advantages. REM sleep for some conditions, ECG for circulatory signals, and respiratory signals for metabolic risks. Limitations include selection bias from participants referred for sleep disorders, potential temporal degradation in performance, and challenges in interpreting which sleep features drive predictions. Translating to clinical practice requires caution. Sleep-FM variants show pre-trained embeddings as the main predictive power source, with Sleep-FM LSM often delivering the strongest performance across conditions. The approach treats sleep recordings as a language, segmenting nights into 5-second intervals to learn cross-signal patterns that forecast disease and long-term health outcomes. A new giant virus named Ushiku virus was found in Vermamaiba near Lake Ushiku in Japan, and its discovery adds to the evidence that large DNA viruses may have played a role in the origins of eukaryotic nuclei. Unlike some relatives, Ushiku virus disrupts the host's nuclear membrane and builds its own replication factories, exiting the cell gradually through exocytosis rather than lysing the host. Researchers report the find online in the Journal of Virology on November 24, 2025, led by Professor Masaharu Takamura, with collaborators from Tokyo University of Science and the National Institute of Natural Sciences. The study team includes Jiwon Bie, Narumi Hantori, Dr. Raymond Burton-Smith, and Professor Kazuyoshi Murata, with funding from JSPS/KAKENHI and the EXCELS program. The work aims to deepen understanding of giant virus biology and the implications for life's origins, reflecting Tokyo University of Science's research prominence. Published late in 2025, the study suggests giant viruses like Ushiku virus could illuminate the evolution and phylogeny of giant virus families and eukaryotic origins. Beyond theory, insights from these viruses could inform approaches to control related amoebal infections and indicate how viruses may be integrated into the tree of life, rather than acting only as parasites. The discovery helps map the diversification of giant viruses and their interactions with hosts, contributing to our understanding of the evolution of complex eukaryotic life. It also highlights the diversity and evolution of giant viruses, showing how variations in host interaction and replication strategies reflect adaptations to different hosts. Using 3-dimensional cryo-electron microscopy, researchers detailed Ushiku virus's icosahedral capsid and surface spikes, revealing a complex structure and attachment mechanisms. The study notes that giant viruses are widespread yet difficult to isolate, with Ushiku virus providing a valuable comparative example for studying diversification and coevolution with hosts. This has been your daily brief in science. To read more about these stories, follow the links in the episode bio. You can also subscribe to these updates via email at www.brief.news. For more daily podcasts about the topics you love, visit brief.news/podcasts. Tune in tomorrow. We'll be back with everything you need to know.